Our like a whole town, a whole area within the Northeast is looking for solutions for something. We've had a problem with one concrete developer using some chemicals or some rocks that are, now we have crumbling foundations. Our towns, all surrounding towns and cities, our homes that we've spent all our lives building and
Now, don't beat that
for.
drum. We get it, but feel
Okay.
the case you're making against yourself as you were explaining the things that are going wrong for you. In justifying a physical solution, you are amplifying the problem in a way that will keep you from any solution.
So that's what I've been wrestling with, because I can sometimes in meditation I get to a point, all of a sudden I just know that everything will be taken care of, and I'm.
Do you know how your inner being leads you to solutions?
Don't tell me.
Your inner being leads you to solutions. We already talked about it some here today. Your inner being leads you to solutions through your path of least resistance, which means your inner being soothes you to your answer. Soothes you. Esther's looking for a pen that she believes is lost, so we don't talk to her about her pen. That would terrorize her. Instead, we talk to her about something that she's not worried about, which leads her to what she is wanting. You follow that? So your inner being always soothes you toward the solution. You just now, in the story that you told us, were terrorizing yourself toward the solution. There's this company and it's done bad to us, to all of us, and all of our foundations are crumbling. And then you went on. We worked hard for these houses. You're not soothing yourself, you're terrorizing yourselves. And the terrorizing mode is all right, but it's always step one. And you already terrorized yourself enough that you got a great big solution in your vortex. Now it's time for you to stop terrorizing yourself, because you can't find the solution while you're terrorizing yourself. And this is what most humans don't understand, because you're trying to get somebody else to do something, so you're proving your case. The other day, Esther has been watching something unfolding, and she got a hit on it, and she can kind of tell where it's going. She knows where it's going. She can sense where it's going. And now, even though she doesn't want it to go that way, she almost wants it to go that way so she can be right. You want to think about that, don't you? Sometimes you want so much to be right when you're pitting yourself against another human that you hold yourself apart from what you really do want, because you'd rather be right than have what you want. So when you are working with committees and people and committees, you might want to go to your vortex and call another council. There are so many dead contractors that would like to play with you. There are so many people with solutions that have made their transition, that know what to do. There are so many of them that would like to soothe you, because all of your foundations aren't crumbling. There are different situations, but it is not as dire as you're making it out to be, and you can't find the solution as long as you believe that it is. So isn't it tricky? In order to win this law case, in order to be able to get enough clout and enough muster together, in order to get enough people moving with us against this person, we have to shoot ourselves in the foot and keep the solutions apart from us. It's why humans move forward. We love you so much so slowly.
And I have been trying. Oh, I have to watch that. Not trying. I have been meditating and trying to relax myself, and I thought I was doing better. Actually, can you tell, am I doing a lot better? Well, I couldn't sleep before, but I'm sleeping now, but I don't know, how close I am. Have I made progress, or am I fooling myself?
But you see, you have just uncovered a really important clue to what's going on, because from what you just said, we all now know that the reason that you're doing the work is in order to affect a result. And it's the happiness along the way that's the only thing that we're interested in. If you can stop doing it to affect a result, because now your eyes on what's wrong and now you're not in the receiving mode. Can you feel what's going on? You've got to accept that to be personally soothed is what you're reaching for. You're looking for a in this moment soothing, not a later down the road slam dunk solution.
Right. I've heard you speak about that before, like not focusing on the results, but feeling that emotional, like joy, just enjoying the life that I have.
What is it that you think you want? What do you believe is the solution that you are all reaching for? If you could just state it and make it happen like that, what's the solution that you want? What have you all decided when you got together and talked about what went wrong? What do you believe is the solution that you're looking for?
The solution, I mean, and what I try to picture is just my home stable.
What does that mean in terms of what you're going to cause to happen?
There's a freedom associated with that stability, because then I can...
We get that, but what do you think that you're going to accomplish? What's the end result? This contractor's going to come tear everybody's houses down and build them back with the right foundation?
That's actually what we've been told.
So how many of you are there?
There are thousands.
Yeah, so
There
it's
are
going to take a
thousands
little
and
while for that
thousands.
to happen. In other
A
words,
lot,
that
yeah.
could be really disruptive to your experience.
Yes.
It might be what we might call overkill. It might be looking for a solution without a problem. Or it might be looking so hard for a solution that you got to find a big problem in order to justify the big solution. But we're just trying to sort of shake your thinking up just a little bit and ask you, do you have a problem big enough that justifies all your homes being torn down by someone who can't possibly afford to do it, and then building them back even though they can't possibly afford to do that? You follow us? No. So what is it that you want to happen?
I really would like my home to be stable. And
Yes.
then when my home is stable, then I have some...
So what has your mind told you that that will require?
Actually, I was hoping, you know, our younger minds that are just so creative are going to figure out an easy solution so that we don't have to rip down to build. But maybe there's some type of a treatment that could happen where the chemicals or the rock or whatever it is counterbalanced and things become solid instead of crumbling. And I know that, you know, our children and, you know, all of the ones coming forward are so brilliant. And I'm just thinking that maybe someone will have an easy solution.
So are you saying to us that this group that's gathering is reaching into the vortex for brilliant new solvers, or is the group that's gathered going after the person that caused the crumbling foundations to begin with?
No, I'm actually looking for the solution.
But what's the group doing? Or are you not part of a group? Is it just a group
No,
of you?
I've stayed away from being part of the group because they get in there with, I've been to some committee meetings, but I go with the openness to just beam out like unconditional love, so a solution could be found rather than having people lock like that. I try to like bring in some of the light so that maybe the creative solution will happen when more people get together.
The answer to this important question is often not an answer that humans want to hear or are ready to hear, but this is always the answer. All contrast has value. All contrast produces desire, and all desires can be satisfied. But the whole point of deliberate creation is that you have to find that balance between the contrast that produces the desire and your focus, which causes you to align with the desire. That's what attraction is. It's one thing to identify a problem, and while you're identifying a problem, you're actually in the mode of attracting more of the problem. But as you're in the mode of attracting more of the problem, you're also in the mode of asking for a stronger solution. And as you ask for a stronger solution, the evolution is happening. Life is getting better, and the solution is viable and can come to you. But the thing that is important, and it's what we talk about all day every day, is you got to find some way of becoming solution oriented rather than problem oriented, and that's what this discussion is all about. So of course there are all kinds of solutions that could come, and sometimes the solution really is this home will come down and another one will be erected. In other words, but that's happening all the time anyway. The point that we want to make with you, and maybe you've already discovered it and it's why you're staying away from those meetings, but anytime that you are justifying your desire, you're working against yourself. You don't have to explain anything to anybody, and this is the most important part of this conversation. If you can, we're talking to all of you, talking to all of humanity, if you can no longer need a target to blame, for something that isn't working out for you, you can get to your solution so much more rapidly. But humans go this long, hard way because you feel like you have to justify what you want instead of being appreciative of the problem, which gave you the desire for a solution which will take you into a better place. That's what existence is. We should all be praising everything that goes wrong, because the things that are going wrong are what make sure we all stick around eternally. Because if there weren't contrast, there wouldn't be expansion, and if there weren't expansion, we would have all petered out a long time ago.
Right. I feel good. I think when this initially started, I think I was in that blame. And
this is an important time for you to pull yourself out of the physicality of it, because the more you're involved in the physicalness of it, the more your logic and reason won't let you find a solution, because the solution hasn't been discovered yet. The solution isn't in existence yet. The solution the way you want it doesn't yet exist, and in order to allow it to exist, you've got to stop chewing that old gum.
Right. And well, the other thing that I wasn't sure well, I know there are no mistakes, but when I did move from the blame, and then it was like, okay, I know this is going to be solved. I have that feeling inside. But then what I did was I just let it go, and then I was focusing on doing things that were just more joyful for me. So
what a terrible price you're paying.
well,
and it doesn't feel like you're as productive when you're focusing upon things that are more joyful. Is that what you're saying to us?
No, I'm really enjoying doing more of the things. I'm doing more in the hospital and singing and, creating.
So the point you're making is?
So I let that go, and I'm just.
And so we've just been talking about it for the last half hour because you let it go?
No, because no, I think because I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, and I know we're not supposed to time solutions, but where.
You see, what you're helping us to explain.
With impatience, I guess.
What you're helping us to explain is that here you are, a leading edge creator who has access to the energy that creates worlds. But how are you going to decide what you want to flow the energy toward? Well, life will keep giving you ideas. So your life comes at you in response to your attraction. Your life comes to you in response to your attraction, and you keep identifying more and more things to which you would like to flow the energy that creates worlds. So you're all sort of clear about that. Here you have this energy that creates worlds at your fingertips, and there is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. It is completely unlimited. It is completely open-ended, and what you create has only to do with the ideas that come from where you stand.